welcome to another episode. So this is episode 26, and this is also the last episode of this season. So I'm really happy and grateful and so fucking appreciative that I have been here for 3 seasons. I'm definitely going to continue. I'm going to keep continuing as long as I keep getting good feedback from you guys. And remember, more importantly, I'm here for you. Like, I never want anybody to feel alone. I never want anybody to feel like they have no one to turn to. So more importantly, I'm here for you, right? So I love hearing from you guys. So as long as I continue to hear from you guys, I'll continue to be here. Okay, so if you follow my Facebook, you know that I am actually not single anymore. I'm going to go into that story a little bit more next season, but it's actually pretty funny and fucking dramatic, but fucking cute and sweet. So I'm actually Facebook official with 69, and I'm actually not single. So since I'm no longer single, and this is fucking unexpected because I didn't think that I would never not be single again, right? And my whole podcast is about 106% single, right? And now I'm 106% not single. So I'm going to go ahead and keep the podcast going. I'm going to end this season though, and I'm going to kick off next season just talking about like what being in a new relationship is like, because there's some funny shit that's happened already, which I think is just relatable. And I'll still give you tips. I'll still talk about veteran-owned businesses. I'll still talk about survival techniques. I'll still talk about companies that I love. Basically, next season is like the unexpected season. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen next season, but I'm really looking forward to it, right? So definitely, continue to listen. I'm still going to do my best to get them out on fucking Monday morning. I'm fucking inconsistent. I'm sorry. I love the Army, but man, my job takes a lot of fucking times from me. So I will do my best. That's all any of us can do, right? I'm gonna do my fucking best to get them out on Mondays. Okay. So this episode, of course, is the end of this season. But I do want to talk about, by the way, I'll still talk about first dates because remember I had 68 of them, right? And this is only episode 26. So there's still a lot for me to fucking talk about aside from the ridiculousness and the funness and the awesomeness of my new relationship. But okay. Anyway, so I want to talk about number 56. Okay. So just to give you guys like a little bit of a reminder. So 55, we thought we had a great date, right? So we thought there was going to be no 56. Well, there actually was a 56. And of course there was a 56 through fucking 69, right? Okay. So this guy though, met him. He actually does not live that far from me, which is the whole thing I'm going to talk about, like long distance again in next season. But he doesn't live that far, right, from me. He's less than an hour, give or take with traffic, right? He lives in a beautiful house. He has like fucking cute kids, great beard, plays the guitar, fucking acoustic, fucking love it. Taught me how to smoke a pipe. We got along really well. We saw each other, to my memory, 4 to 5 times. It was always a Friday. And that was just better for his schedule and my schedule. We drank a lot, hung out a lot, laughed a lot. So much fun, but zero chemistry. Anyway, but he actually is a friend of mine. We're still friends on social media. We like each other's shit. He has a new girlfriend. Anyway, so he looks happy and I'm happy for him. We don't talk as much, obviously, because he has a girlfriend now, and now I have a boyfriend, but we're still friends. Anyway, so I'm glad that friendship happened. So anyway, so we met on an app. We decided to go out and get some drinks, right? We actually went to a brewery that I'm not going to name, but a pretty well-known brewery. It was fucking fancy brewery too. Like, as far as like breweries go, like I love local shit. I love craft beers. I love micro breweries. So they're so much fun to me. Like wherever I travel, I want to try something local. Like I fucking love it. Love the experience of it. But this particular place I had not been to before because it's fancy, right? And I'm, for the most part, not a fancy person. I mean, I do have nice clothes. I do have nice shoes. I'm terrible at makeup, but I can apply some of it and look decent. Like on the right occasion calls for it, I can look somewhat cute, right? But for the most part, with breweries, I like to be in shorts, flip-flops, sweats, jeans, boots, whatever. Like I want to be comfortable, right? That's like the way I live my life. Anyway, so this brewery I had not gone to. So he was like, fuck it, let's go. And like he knew that I like cigars because it was like on my dating app profile. So that's one of the things we talked about. And he was like, let's, bring a couple cigars or buy a couple cigars, or I don't remember what the fuck, but we had cigars, right? And we decided to meet at this fancy brewery. And I was kind of like a little nervous and excited because he was very attractive, my type, beautiful beard, whatever, totally my type, right? And we got along really well, right? So, phone calls, texting, whatever. So we get along well. He has an accent, which I love. Anyway, So, we met at the fancy brewing. I would think from my memory, I was wearing like a sweatshirt and shorts. Like, I don't know what the fuck happens to my brain sometimes, but it was a cute sweatshirt. It was like a cute tie-dye kind of thing. So I was like kind of half dressed, half not dressed, basically. Anyway, so when I pulled in, like, of course, we took separate cars, right? So I pulled in, I looked around the fancy brewery, and I saw this couple that looked like they were getting married. Like, their clothes were fucking like, I mean, they looked beautiful, but I was severely underdressed, right? So I immediately sent him a message, and he's like, fuck it, I'm in shorts or I'm in jeans or whatever. I don't care. He's like, I'm sure you're fine, and fuck it, whatever. I'm like, okay. So, a few minutes later, he shows up, see him instantly, great hug. We walk into the brewery, the fucking fancy brewery, and we're like, holy fuck, this place is kind of fancy, but fuck it, right? So we're both like, whatever, let's order some food, let's order some drinks, let's sit outside, we have cigars, we're chit-chatting. Things are going well, right? We end up sitting like on a further part of like this huge fucking yard that this brewery has, because in fact people do get married there, but it's beautiful. But their beer selection kind of shitty. Unfortunately, the food not very good, but it was a fun day. It was a beautiful day. I was in my sweatshirt and my shorts. Anyway, so we're getting along really well. Like we start to smoke some our cigars, and immediately this like little kid, I say kid because I'm 50, but this kid was probably like 17, probably looked like he was 12, but it's like really skinny, like no muscle mass, had this huge man bun, like walks over to 56, right? 56 kind of manly, kind of macho, like my type, right? So kind of alpha, so this little kid, I say kid, but whatever, fucking man bun kid walks up to my date, right? And he's just like, sir, you can't smoke those here. And the look on his face, super intimidating. The little kid kind of scurried away. We're like, okay, whatever. So we end up enjoying the rest of our cigars in the parking lot as we decide what to do next, right? Because we're having fun. We don't want to end the date, right? So literally we're smoking, sitting in the parking lot. These wonderful cigars is fucking awesome as shit. I actually took a picture of it because it was ridiculous, of our hands and the cigar and everything. Anyway, in the parking lot. Anyway, so we ended up going to a couple different like pubs, dive bar kind of places, which were really more my style, more his style too, because we had enough fancy, right? So we ended up going to this one place at the end of the evening that I will never forget, because we actually met a female who was sweet as shit, and she's actually Facebook friends with me now. And we talk all the time, like on Facebook, and she's cute as shit. Anyway, I love her. She's really sweet. And if I had not gone out for this evening with 56, we would never have ended up at that place, right? So the reason I wanted to talk about this date is because we had so much fun. We both probably drank more than we should have, but fuck it, you're like at a bar. We ended up meeting this female. This female introduced us to all of her friends. So we ended up with this like huge group. And this is COVID, right? So this is like the pandemic. Like, it was awesome because at that point on that night, everybody was like, fuck the pandemic, fuck the mask, fuck the vaccine cards. We all just drank and laughed and sat on this like giant picnic table, which almost broke a couple times because there were so many people on it. So much fucking fun. We met a couple of kids that were like college students. One was a foreign exchange student. And we had so much fucking fun. Like, my date was stealing drinks from him because they were drinking even more than us. It was fucking hilarious. So much fun. Loved that evening. I was actually sad to go home that night because we had had so much fun. But the reason I wanted to bring up that is because the thing that I loved about dating, I don't miss it, but the thing that I loved about it was you never know what's going to happen, right? Like, your hope is always that the person that you're connecting with, or swiping, right with, are actually real people. They're not scammers, they're fun, whatever. It's very rare though, I think, and I think I was very fucking lucky. There's a handful of men that I went out that are in the 1 to 69 range that I'm actually friends with now, and I'm really happy about that. We never slept together, we never kissed, we never hugged, we had zero chemistry, but we're fucking really good friends, right? And I love that. I think that's so valuable. That's what I miss about it. Just, you never know what's going to happen. This ended up being a fun night. I mean, as I said, I'm still friends with one of the females we met. So it was not a wasted evening. We had like a great 4 or 5 Fridays. He taught me how to smoke a pipe, which I fucking love. I have 2 of them now, and it's fucking awesome. But I guess that's just the whole point of everything. Like, life can be a little crazy, but it can be fun. It can be unexpected. And I have nothing but, great memories about that date and like the future dates that followed that we went on with 56. Anyway, this all, of course, leads up to, you just never fucking know what's going to happen, right? So that's what's beautiful about life and dating and the whole bit. And I don't know, I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens with me next season, right? And I will definitely keep you guys posted. And like I said, next season, I'm still going to talk about, my first dates. I'm still going to talk about my new relationship somewhat, right? He's awesome, by the way. Like, he does not mind the podcast. Really fucking sweet and upfront and open about it since day one. So I feel really grateful that, he's not put off by it. So I'll let you guys know what happens with him, right? Let you guys know what happens, like, just with the new relationship and some of the funny shit that's happened already. I'm looking forward to next season. I'm still going to talk about, like companies I like. And I want to end this episode actually by talking about Airbnb, right? So I love to fucking travel. Not a fucking secret. I travel as much as I can, right? And Airbnb, I found, oh God, I don't even know how many fucking years ago. I have to go back and look at my app, but I found it a few years ago. I used it a little bit here and there, but then I became obsessed with it when I started traveling to Europe more and more because it's so much easier to find a place. Well, also too, I like to travel by myself. Like I love to get on a plane by myself and like fly, right? So the last handful of times, I was in Italy specifically, I ended up meeting with a couple of people that I liked, or friends of mine rather. Of course, I like them. They're my friends, but I ended up meeting friends there. But I traveled throughout the whole country by myself, and I love that. And one of the things that I found comforting and loving about like just exploring and like doing shit on your own like that is Airbnb, right? Because you can find like a whole unit, like you can find like fucking ranches, you can find yachts, you can find like rooms, you can find like a bed in like a loft that's available. Like you can find so much cool shit. Like recently I went to see Bob Dylan fucking live in New York City, and I stayed in this lady's extra bedroom, and she was fucking sweet as shit, and her house was gorgeous. I loved it. Great price too, great location. I fucking walked to like the fucking, like concerts. Fucking awesome. He's great. Can't wait to see him again. Anyway. And then, of course, as you know, like I went on the date in Florida, found the yacht, right? So when 69 and I were trying to get together for that first weekend for like our Christmas, Hallmark movie first date, I was looking at places for us to connect to meet with, right? Because we met, in Oklahoma. And there's a tree house that is so fucking cute, but it was just too cold. Like they had it was basically like a backyard of like a person's house that they basically converted to outdoor living. And I've always loved the idea of like tiny houses or living in an RV camper. Like I just love like unique buildings and structures. And recently I saw a bunch of connexes that are like stacked together like houses, and I just love like thinking outside of the box basically with your house. Anyway, so the tree house to me was really cute. It's a really cute like loft area. They have like a fire pit, they have an outdoor shower, they have outdoor kitchen. Like it just seemed really cool and awesome. And 69 was all about it, but the weather, it was just too cold. So hopefully we do get to go back to that. We talked somewhat about doing it in the summer, hopefully, when it's not so cold, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, so the thing that I wanted to talk about today is fucking Airbnb. If you have not been on there recently, please go on there. Please log on and give it a shot. I totally love it. Every experience I've had has been great because, it's very review based, and I fucking love to review, right? So it's fucking awesome. Anyway, so basically that's the end of this season. I had a lot of fun. Love hearing from you guys, even with all the Gerber shit. You guys bashed my fucking knife. It's all right. Still love being here, and I look forward to spending my days with you on social media. You always make, me laugh and smile throughout the day, and I love it. And that wraps up this season, and I will be back soon with season 4. All right, guys, if you need anything, I'm here for you, and